And so I want to ask you, Matt. There's one other. There's a subject. There's a lot of things that to me that has culminated in President Barack Obama having a dismal approval rating among the American people right now. I don't know, it's down around 40, isn't it? 42, 45, something like that?
I saw before the election, I saw the number 37.
Yeah, it's
around.
way down there. It's way down. He has had the fastest drop of any modern-day president as far as being, he was king of the world, and now he's like, he's lost, the American people for the most part have lost confidence in him. Now, he may regain that. That happens in the ebb and flow of a presidency. He may regain that. Well, for now, the American people are saying, no, we don't like what you're doing here. We want to change direction. That's why we're sending the Republicans to Washington. But one of the issues he's been pushing, there's all this myriad of liberal, secular, left, socialist issues that he's been pushing the last 2 years, nonstop, pedal to the metal. And one of them is Barack Obama wants straight men in the military to have to shower with homosexual men. I mean, that's his goal. That's what he thinks they ought to have to bunk together and all this stuff. He thinks it's all, that's all good. And I'm sort of explicit. That's not really too explicit there, but I'm trying to give folks a visual of what exactly we're talking about here. Yeah. It's nice to say fairness, equality, all these nice flowery words.
All these things that everybody wants.
Yeah, that's okay in the abstract and talk about those things. But let's get down to real life here. We're talking about the United States military. They're supposed to protect us. They're not like the civilian world, okay? So a lot of things that apply to the civilian world do not apply to the military world. Am I correct, Marvin?
You are correct.
Okay, about that. And readiness, being ready to fight.
Unit cohesion.
All those things. That's why you don't put open homosexuals with a bunch of straight guys, a bunch of red-blooded. You don't do that in the same way you wouldn't put a woman in a shower with a man in the military. You know what I'm saying? There's sexual tension, or in a bedroom, not a bedroom, but a bunking situation.
Right.
But Barack Obama just insists on pushing this with Robert Gates, his military leader there at the Pentagon, and the Army, the Navy, they're all the Marine Corps Commandant. They're all saying, no, we don't want this. We do not. This is not good. We don't want this. And Obama and Gates keep saying, yeah, you do. You want this. And it's another case, just like with Obamacare, that it seems to me, Matt, that he's trying to push this left-wing social engineering garbage on the military, like he did with and the American people said no on the health care. Now they're saying no. The military saying, no, we don't want this on the gays and the open gays in the military. What do you think is going to happen with this issue?
Well, Tim, you've nailed it. I mean, but we have to understand here, Barack Obama is a dyed-in-the-wool secular socialist. He could care less. He is of that mentality, really, that hold a deep animus toward military and military personnel. He's a tambourine playing, kind of a pacifist beatnik, if you will, and so he views the military as really as a petri dish for radical San Francisco style social experimentation. Despite the fact that, for instance, a Military Times poll has indicated that up to 24% of those currently serving in the four branches of the armed services, they have said that they would up to 24% would exit, would leave. This would be devastating to national security. But when these sanctimonious notions of tolerance and diversity take precedent over national security in the minds of these types of radical secular socialist activists such as Barack Obama, none of that matters. So absolutely, he has signed off on every single aspect of the radical homosexual lobby, up to and including destroying, essentially, our United States Armed Services as we know it. Now, the question is, what's going to happen with it? Well, during this lame duck session, there is a strong push to get it through as an attachment to the Defense Authorization Bill, and to get it voted through. The House has already approved it. The repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. The Senate is going to look at it again. I hope and pray that people like John McCain and Republicans in Congress will stand their ground, and even that they may even get a few Democrats who are up for election in 2012 to look at this and say, boy, I don't want to stick my neck out and put our men and women in the armed services at risk just to push some radical leftist agenda.
I will applaud John McCain on this one. He has been stand-up guy against Barack Obama and the that's what I've heard.
He has been, and he needs to hold his ground here.
Yeah.
He understands, having served nobly in the armed services himself, and as a criminal of war in Vietnam and so forth. He knows the reality of
Right.
what you were talking about, the showering and the bunking situations. That it just is completely implausible.
Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense at all. You know, makes absolutely no sense at all. And the Marine Commandant, the new
James
one,
Amos.
yeah, he said no. You know, this is not good, and it takes some courage for someone of his stature, I know, to stand up to the Commander-in-Chief publicly.
Well, it sure does, and kudos to him. And that
Yeah.
tells you hit on something important here. The fact that he would do that
Yes.
and stick out his neck
Yes.
shows you just how seriously he takes this.
Right.
Matt, thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning and giving us your
Anytime, gentlemen.
insight.
Pleasure's always mine.
Yeah. And your website?
lc.org for Liberty Counsel, lc.org.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Matt. We'll talk
Thank
to you
you,
again
fellas.
real soon. Okay. Very, very good.